Hey guys, so here we have our modeling summative. So this is where we're going to summatively assess for our ability to make a model of photosynthesis and cellular respiration for rubric 2B. So it says here, for your model, show in a detailed/labeled diagram the movement of carbon through photosynthesis and cellular respiration. To start with CO2 in the air as an input, show what is made in photosynthesis and used in cellular respiration, and ending with CO2 in the air as an output. Okay, so we want to show this cycle of carbon through this model. So what all needs to be labeled or included in this model? We absolutely need the products and reactants, or inputs and outputs, of these processes. So we have oxygen, water, light energy, glucose, and ATP energy. Okay, I can't stress how important this is to make sure that we have all of these plus CO2 being shown in this model. And honestly, let me add that here as well. So we need to make sure that all of these are present in our model. Now, how are you going to make this model? You can draw it and post a picture in this document. You can do a Google drawing. You can do it a different way. If you want to do like a Google slide and then give me a link to your Google slide, or do a quick picture of the screenshot. Sorry, I couldn't think of that term. You have options for this, but you need to make a model. It says copy and paste a picture of your model in the space below. I'll also accept the link though, like I just stated. And make sure that if you're posting it, the image is large enough for me to see, and write an explanation of how matter is cycled and energy flows during photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Okay, this is key here. I'm not just asking if they're dependent on one another, I'm asking on how matter is cycled and how energy flows. And this takes us back to our notes, our energy flows and matter cycles notes. And actually, these notes. Okay, so you need to be able to tell me something about how energy flows through your model, but how matter cycles through your model. Okay, for more information on this, don't forget that I have posted a key to these notes in Schoology. It's in, I believe, Thursday for some of you, Friday for others. And I also have 2 videos of me talking through these notes. Okay, so if you are kind of lost on that aspect, or you don't remember, you need some review, or if you didn't do the notes, check out the Thursday or Friday folder of last week, look at the key for these notes, and look at those videos, or watch those videos that I made of me talking through this concept. So in your explanation, you need to talk about how matter is cycled and how energy flows through photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Now, if you're stuck on this model, We know we need to include all of these aspects, but it says we need to show CO2 in the air as an input, and when it needs to end with CO2 in the air as an output. So here is one example of how you can get started with something like this, where you could have light energy, because that needs to be included, going to a plant. We can show that CO2, or carbon dioxide, is going into the plant for photosynthesis. Water isn't in this image, but water needs to be included as well. So water is actually going into the plant from its roots. What's created through photosynthesis? Well, we have oxygen and glucose. So oxygen would be going back up into the air. Glucose would be inside the plant. But that's just photosynthesis. How could we connect cellular respiration? Well, we have like this little groundhog here. If we use him as an example, we could show glucose going to the groundhog, and he's going to get that glucose by eating the plant. And we could show oxygen going to the groundhog by him breathing. So the oxygen and the glucose go into the groundhog. The groundhog is then able to go through cellular respiration, where he lets off water that the plant can use and exhales carbon dioxide, which the plant can use. Remember, in this process of cellular respiration, he also produces ATP. So, just a little example. You could do this in different formats. So if you want to do something that's a little bit more cyclic, like we did before, I will allow that. That is fine. Just make sure that we know that carbon dioxide is actually coming from the air. Same thing with oxygen. So we have another example. This looks similar to what you've made before, but we have a little plant and a little bunny. And then one last random example that I found, where it's still pretty cyclic. We can see that we have a deer and a tree within this model. We have light energy. It should be labeled, it's not. We have light energy going down for photosynthesis. Created through photosynthesis is oxygen and glucose. These are used in the deer, and through cellular respiration, they form carbon dioxide and water, and ATP energy. Obviously this one includes heat energy as well. That is a thing, but we do not need to worry about that for this model. So, just some 3 quick ideas on how to kind of begin your model. Make sure when you're done modeling that you go through this explanation piece here. And we make sure that we're talking about how matter is cycled and how energy flows through those 2 processes. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, but best of luck with this, and see you guys either tomorrow or Wednesday.